You know, it might actually help if I unmuted my microphone. Just a little bit. Also, I apologize if I sound like shit. I woke up literally 5 minutes ago. I was up until midnight last night, and I decided to sleep in a little bit, and then I woke up at like 11:55. I checked my phone, and I was like, oh yeah, dev server's going live in like 5 minutes. Oh. Shit. So yeah, this will my voice will clear up in the next hour or two. Just have to give it some time. As a result, because I haven't had any chance to clean myself up, there will be no webcam during this stream. Because honestly, I look like shit. I look as bad as I sound right now. Looks like the Imperial Navy teaser was released. So, looks like we are only a couple days away from seeing the update. If I had to guess, the very earliest we would see it would be Monday, but I think it's more likely we're going to see it Tuesday or
More Maymays for the Maymay God.
Japanese jeers.
Sangeli, thanks for the 19 months of Prime, man. Holy shit. Japanese Dryas, yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. So there are a couple things. Oh man, they reset all of my, they reset all of the vehicles. Wait, did they take away all the premiums? No, they didn't. Okay. Well, that's weird. Okay. I can't boost research or anything. That's weird. Let me relog real quick and then we'll get started. Whenever the dev server opens up, there's always a couple of issues. What's the plan today? Try and show off all the new stuff and try and see what happens. Hopefully everything works. Is that pretty strict to be streaming? No, this is just what I sound like when I wake up like 5 minutes before I start streaming. I'll be fine. I sound like shit, but I'm actually fine. It's probably all the phlegm that's like pooled in my throat from sleeping. So, is what it is. There was a series of there was one big change that I missed in the last dev server. Yeah, let me try this again. Okay. All right, that's definitely a thing. It appears that I cannot boost research the ADATs. That's weird. Alright, let me switch over here so you guys can actually see something. Like I said, no webcam today because I look as bad as I sound right now. You know the west coast of the US? Yeah, I'm on the west coast. It's also a Saturday, so like I just finished finals this last week for my semester of college. And so generally the first few days after I'm finished, I don't tend to do much. I tend to just laze around and not really do much and sleep in as much as I can. So Today I slept in until 11:55. It's not my record. My record, I think, was I slept in until 6 once. 6 in the afternoon. But that was because I literally had not gone to sleep for pretty much a full 24 hours. But yeah, we're gonna start off with, can't really show the ADATs for some reason. Like, I can't boost research it. Something's broken there, so we'll just leave it be. And I'm pretty sure most of you know what the ADATs is all about anyways, so... So if you're looking at the X-ray view for the M1, you'll notice that something's a little bit different. This was on the last dev server, but I missed it. Nobody had told me. Or if they did, I totally missed their comment. If you look at the live server, the M1A1 has a block right here, added to the cannon breech. And what that block is the ammunition compartment for the 7.62mm machine gun ammo. Well, they for some godforsaken reason, when they introduced the M1A1, that was part of the cannon breech. They have finally removed that as part of the cannon breech, so the cannon breech is actually its proper size now. Which also means that you can't have your cannon breech knocked out by shooting the driver.
Ha! Gay!
Jack Smith, thanks for the $2, man. So yeah, that's a pretty big change, and it'll make the M1 a little bit better. Also, some people are saying this is on the live server, some people are saying this isn't. But somebody mentioned that the ammunition now with the M1A1, like the storage order, basically when you fill up your ammunition now, it's going to fill up your ammunition starting from the left-hand side of the bustle rack. So from the loader's side of the bustle rack, which makes sense. Alright, moving on. Hopefully. Yes, they do. Okay. Okay, so this was not on the last dev server, or at least it was, but it wasn't in the it wasn't available for us to see. This is the Flakraketen Panzer 1. This is the same Roland missiles that are in the French tech tree, but but the turret is mounted on a Marder 1 chassis. So the Germans do get missile AA this patch. Also, I noticed that there was a change with a lot of the missile anti-aircraft vehicles from the last dev server to this one. Basically, what happened was that a lot of their warheads got bigger, but the detection radius for their airburst missiles got smaller. So, for example, the Tunguska is now like a 13.5 something kilogram warhead for its HE rockets, but the airburst radius, the airburst detection radius, went from 20 meters down to 5 meters. So you have to get much closer to an aircraft in order to guarantee a kill. However, that also means that the Tunguska actually just got way better at killing tanks. It now effectively has close to 3 times the amount of effective HE filler that a KV-2 does in a missile. And its its maximum velocity went up in speed. It's now like 1,200 meters per second. So, if you hated the Tunguska because of its tank killing capabilities before, I have bad news for you. But yeah, the Flakraketen Panzer 1. This should be fairly similar to the Roland, and apparently they finally fixed the weird issue where, like, you're having to wait to reload the Roland's missiles, so we'll switch to that now. About the rocket bug like the Calliope? We'll test that later. I kind of want to get to the new stuff first. Yeah, CK, I'll get to that whenever I get to it. There's about 1 trillion things I need to look at here. I'm going in order. P95 neutral traverse. Sure, in a bit. Anything else for the Germans? Not to my knowledge. There was the ME264, and that's about it. But we looked at that the last dev server. I'm jumping through the new stuff for this dev server. Now the question is... Come on. Oh, nice. I can actually guide the missiles now. Oh, so it might actually be beneficial to keep the missile on target. Oh no. Oof. I can tell you one thing, the missiles are definitely a lot easier to control with this round of the dev server than they were with the last one. Ooh, cool! Animation. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty cool. I'm not one for gimmicky stuff like that, but it's nice. It's a nice detail whenever it is added. There we go. If you're wondering what the upgraded Roland's pen is, it's only 64 millimeters, so you're not really going to be hunting tanks with this. It also has an explosive mass of about 8.9, so it'll be as good as the old Tunguska was. Like, you can kill stuff, but would I recommend going and hunting tanks with this? Probably not. Yeah, if you get a hit like that, you'll definitely ruin somebody's day. But I really wouldn't recommend going after tanks. Okay. Okay. I will be streaming.
Huh? You will be streaming.
Yeah.
Messing. Finding out the obvious.
Yeah. I know. And I feel like a mess.
Love you.
Love you too, Mom. Brother and my mother are going shopping for his birthday present. But yeah, no guns on this thing. It only has missiles. Don't get me wrong, the missiles are good, but... Well, if you're going hunting tanks in this thing, then, well, you're... Well, if you're having to hunt tanks in this thing, you've got bigger problems on your hands. Awkward. It's my mom. What's wrong with my mom? Yeah, I'm a mess. No kidding. Oh, that's interesting. They've got the 30mm armed HE-162 here for us to view now. Oh, does that mean? Hang on. Hold up. Hey. So now you guys can actually look at the rare vehicles that are not premiums now as well. So now you guys can see the E100 in the tech tree. Yeah, you can test drive the E100 now, if you feel the need to. Now you can't test drive it fully upgraded, but, or at least not in this variation. Because when you get the E100, you still have to upgrade it like a normal tank. Lucarelli, no, they have not. And guys, I will get to like the individual request stuff in a bit. But right now, I'm just going through all the nations by order, and if I miss stuff, I'll come back to it at the end. So yeah, now you guys can look at all of the rare vehicles in the tech tree. You can see their armor values, you can see what they're protected against, you can see their X-rays, you can see everything about them, and you can even test drive them if you feel the need. And then drool over the fact that you will never get access to an E100. The closest you got is a mouse, people. It's interesting. I've played both the E100. One of my close friends that lives around here has it, and I played it at his house. And I've played the mouse, and I actually prefer the mouse over the E100, despite the mobility difference. Yes, the E100 is more mobile, but it also has a more traditional layout on the interior, meaning that it's much easier to ammo rack an E100 than it is a mouse. So there's a lot more ammo stored in a lot more places on an E100, so there's more opportunity for you to die. So I actually still prefer the mouse over the E100. That's just me, though. Yeah, almost all of the rare vehicles, like at least all the important ones, I think, are available now for you to view in the tech tree. The other thing for the Germans was the ME264. But we took a look at that the last time. Frankly, it's not worth it. And the repair cost doesn't appear to have gone down at all, which is disappointing, to say the least. Okay. For Russia. Remind me again? Oh yeah, they got the Sturm. We already took a look at that though, on the last dev server. If you guys are curious about stuff on the last dev server, you guys can go back and watch my video on it. It's up on the channel. Stormer. I don't think anything has changed there. Hunter F6.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, I don't think anything has changed there. Although, oh, the Snebs were not there last dev server. That's for sure. ACK, you're gonna need to chill the hell out, man. I think you're way overreacting at the C1 Ariete. Few people are at top tier with the Italians, and even fewer are going to have the C1 when it comes out, and even when it does, and people start getting it, it's really not the bigger issue here.
More maymays for the maymay god.
Because frankly, it doesn't matter what kind of ammunition we give the M1A1 unless we were to give it the most modern ammo available. It still wouldn't penetrate the turret of a 2A5. Normal people at one point. Apparently, that was a mistake. According to Gaijin, that was not intended. So, I hate to break the bad news to you guys, but for those of you who were expecting to get like the content creator packs, it unfortunately looks like that was a mistake and it wasn't intended, which really pisses me off more than anything else. Oh, cool! So you can mount Sneb rockets and SRAMs for the Hunter F6. Yeah, I hate to break it to you guys, but it is what it is. I mean, I have no doubt that with the top end modern ammunition, the M1 could give the 2A5 on the turret some problems, but it would be very difficult. It isn't guaranteed. Able to see the E100. It's now available for everybody to see. That's one of the changes with this dev server, or with this update, I think. Yeah, the Hunter F6 can carry more weapons now. Although, to be fair, I think the best way to test the SRAMs and see if they've actually improved or not would be to test them in a custom battle, which we'll do later. Because in the last dev server, they were pretty awful. And it looks like they still have the, what's it called? The placeholder values for the AIM-9Bs on the SRAMs, which is disappointing. Okay, Japan. I know they got a helicopter, and I know that they got a fucking weeb skin for that helicopter. AH-1S. Oh, God. No. 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 Okay, all I can say is that I'm going to have a lot of fun shooting this thing out of the sky. Please tell me there's another camouflage. Okay, thank God. Yeah, this is a big no, people. I mean, on one hand, it's impressive that they managed to get the licenses to do this. But on the other hand, just no. I can only look at that for so many seconds before I literally start losing brain cells. Look, if anime is your thing, then good on you, but no anime no anime should be forced upon a vehicle like this. It looks like you can carry up to 8 toes. You can carry 8 toes and 2 7.62mm miniguns. 8 toes and Mighty Mouse FFARs. Right, I'm not saying that it's not historical, because this is an actual thing. Like the skin that comes with this helicopter is a real thing. All I'm saying is that this shouldn't be a thing. Yeah, I don't understand how this will be at 10.0 either. Considering the missiles it's firing. But hey, it's a premium! Yeah, if you're that desperate to have anime in the game, to show off to absolutely everybody, then you can now pay for it. Probably an exorbitant amount as well. And they have, and they actually modeled the pilot as well, that the Okana Kizurazu or something like that. They actually have her modeled as the pilot. Which is, on one hand, an interesting attention to detail. But it is what it is. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely going to enjoy shooting this thing out of the sky at every opportunity I have. Like I said, I can only afford to look at something like that for only a couple of seconds. Other than that, it's an AH-1S. I don't think there's much else to look at here, outside of... Is it here? Yes! Let's go back and look at something far more interesting, people. The Type 16. If you're curious as to what the hell this thing is, it's basically a Japanese Centauro. That's one way to look at it. So what ammo does it get? It gets access to M735 and Type 93. So I'm curious as to why this thing I'm curious as to why they feel the need to give this thing a 9.3 battle rating, though. I mean, the fact that you get M735 APFSDS is nice. In the sense that... It's nice in the sense that you don't have to play around with a stock APDS round at 9.3 battle rating, or even slightly lower than that at 8.7. But I wonder...
More maymays for the maymay god.
This thing is going to have some serious mobility to make up for that. Malridek, thank you for the 20 months, man. Holy shit. Appreciate it. And if you're asking for armor on this thing, I doubt there is much. They generally don't design vehicles like this with armor in mind. Composite side skirts of 150 millimeters. I'm curious. Huh. Well, it won't... It's not really going to protect against EFS all that much. But it might? It does look like this thing suffers from hull break. Which wouldn't surprise me. Like, it's got a decent amount of protection there against shape charge warheads for what it is. For a vehicle as lightly armored as this thing is, that's not terrible. The problem is that pretty much anything at your tier is going to have a shape charge warhead way more powerful than anything your armor is going to stop.
Give me your shekels.
Hey, Hippie,
Blood
thanks for the
for the
$5.
blood god. WEEB skins for the WEEB CHAIR throne.
Blood for the blood god, weeb skins for the weeb cheer throne. Please no. Alright, let's do a test drive of this thing. It does at least get Type 93, which is pretty decent ammo for a 105. Having the MLRS only for backup, yeah, it's nice to see that Japan is getting more stuff. They definitely need more. And it looks like this thing also has the improved steering for wheeled vehicles, which is really nice. It's gonna make wheeled vehicles a lot more interesting to play, a lot more fun to play, actually. It's not like they were bad beforehand, it's just that they were kind of difficult to control. But now that they have like a counter steering system, you can actually control the vehicles now, which is great. It's good to see that top tier Japan is getting something. And this thing is pretty mobile, too. Do I think it deserves a 9.3 battle rating? Probably not. I mean, this could go to 8.7, but I could see how that could be an issue with how mobile it is. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm eager to try this thing out. I think the lowest you could probably go with this is 9.0, but at the same time, it doesn't really change much between this and 9.3. Because anything 9.0 and above is just going to get up-tiered all the time. So I think this vehicle's performance is really going to heavily depend on which team it's getting matched with. And it does have a stabilizer, by the way. So they better than the Centauro Realmore? I think the Centauro Realmore has slightly better ammunition, though. Does it get grenades? I don't think it does. Oh, it does get smoke grenades. Well, that's definitely a big improvement over the Centauro. The Centauro doesn't have any smoke grenades, because you lose the smoke grenade launchers to throw on the ERA Realmore package. We'll get to the Japanese naval forces and see what's changed there. As far as I'm aware, nothing has changed here. But we'll get to it later. Because that's going to take a while. Alright, Italy. Italy had some pretty substantial additions. So, we'll check the C1 Ariete first, because I'm pretty sure that's what most of you are interested in. So, protection analysis. From what I understand, nothing has really changed armor-wise on the C1. Oh. Oh. Oh! Well, I didn't expect much from the hull in the first place, but the turret is actually not terrible now. That's not bad. And there's no ammo in the back of the turret either, to my knowledge. No, there's no ammo back there. All of the ammo is stored down in the hull. Right there. So... I mean, that's better. That's certainly better than the C1 pre-series, where you had no armor. It also had pretty substantial changes to its ammunition. It now has access to CL3143, which I believe very well might be the most powerful ammunition we've seen in the game. I think this ammo is actually even more powerful than Leclerc, which is saying something. Because I'm terrible at math. Times 2. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. So CL3143 at 60 degrees has effectively 722 millimeters of penetration. That's ridiculous. This thing is almost 100 millimeters more powerful than DM33. Holy crap. Holy shit. That's insane. Yeti with contact 5? Oh, I have no doubts. Let's try it. Good question, actually. I would be very surprised if it couldn't. So, let's bump it out. Yeah, we'll try it at 500. Oh my god.
More for the May god.
It's going right through.
It probably has less loss than that protection. I guess just dev server hype for the premium of 40.
Roshindo, thanks for the 11 months. Probably has less line of sight than that protection. I guess the dev server hype for the premium OF40. I mean, I don't know. This thing is slicing right through the upper front plate of a T80U with contact 5 on it. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, the C1 may very well be one of the most dangerous tanks in the next update. Now, granted, do I think it's going to be overpowered with this new ammo? Not really. There aren't that many people playing the Italians at top tier in the first place. And this thing does not have the invulnerable levels of armor that the Leopard 2A5 does. Like, it doesn't have an upper front plate that will stop ammunition at its tier. The only real strong parts of the C1 are these turret areas right here. Like, where the high hardness armor overlaps and so on. These are pretty much the only areas where you're going to have trouble. Outside of that, it's pretty easy to knock out the breach, and you can pretty much pen anything here. Alright. So that's interesting. We'll go over to France here. Because Leclerc got some changes as well, and I really want to see its armor. Apologies, everybody. So they nerfed its reload from 5 seconds to 6 seconds, which is annoying to say the very least, but it brings it more in line with other vehicles at its tier. So let's take a look at the ammunition. Yeah, the ammunition doesn't appear to have changed at all, which is annoying, considering that this is completely... These are the completely wrong values I mean, they work. I'm not complaining about that. But these are the values that DM33 should have for the 120s. Like, this is the performance that the stock ammo and the C1 Ariete should have. Not what this ammunition should have. This should have more penetration than the C1s. But for whatever reason it doesn't. All right, let's look at the ammunition, or let's look at the protection analysis. So we'll pull out the T80U, pull out the Mango ammunition. Looks like the Mango rounds are going to struggle. Oh my god, that's actually pretty decent. 607 millimeters. I know they were claiming like 700 millimeters of protection on the front, and really that's only in very small places like that, or if you're angling the turret, like over here. You're not really going. Wow, this thing is actually fairly decently protected, at least in areas not around the cannon bridge. The cannon bridge is, well, it's a pretty massive target. Interestingly enough, it's interesting, the flat front plate like that, or the relatively flat front plate, is immune, but the upper front plate is not. Okay. So if you shoot right here, you can take out the ammunition rack and kill the gunner. And likely knock out the horizontal turret drive. So you could effectively just disable him and possibly kill him just by shooting here. Down here, you're basically just going for only ammo. That'll kill the driver, set the tank on fire, probably take out the engine. I mean, like most NATO tanks, you're going to want to play this thing hull down in a defensive position. I mean, that's what most of the NATO vehicles are designed to do. And that's what they do best. So, the Cleric has got some decent armor on it, but, I mean, it's still got huge targets, like huge weak spots. Namely this giant plate right here. So, if you see a Leclerc, shoot him here, and you'll be fine. Or if you have a little bit more time on your hands, shoot him here. Don't shoot him here, don't shoot him here, don't shoot him here. You can shoot him here, you can shoot him here, shoot him here. So, oh yeah, and if you have Russian HE, hang on a second, I want to show something. If you have OF-26, oh, so they fixed it slightly. On the last dev server, if you shot the, actually, hang on a second. Yeah, on the last dev server, if you shot the optics, the splash would splash down into the hull and kill the driver and likely kill the gunner as well. So it looks like this thing is actually fairly well protected. I wouldn't guarantee that it's protected against Russian HE spam, but it's better protected than most. Alright, everybody's screaming that I need to check the Panzer IV-H turret armor. I don't understand what could possibly change about it, but we'll take a look. Calm your fucking tits. Ooh. Well, it's still 50 millimeters. Like, these are just tracks. Nothing that I can see has changed here, guys. So, I don't understand what you're looking for, but it's still the same 50 millimeters it always was. Side of it? 30 millimeters? 5 millimeters? Like, guys, nothing has changed here. I don't know what you're looking for, but okay. That model is goofed? What's goofed about it? Guys, I'm not seeing anything here. I don't know what the point of protection analysis would be. Is anything looking at this thing is going to penetrate it in the turret? Like, if you're hoping for it to miraculously just have more armor here, I think you're going to be disappointed. Oh, why are we looking at it with a 2A5? Yeah, I failed to see what the point of this exercise was. The turret and the thermobaric is a guided TADU meme shell. Oh yeah, that's right. The Sturm got a thermobaric missile. I forgot about that. I remember last dev server I meant to recheck the definition of thermobaric. Because I know in principle what it does, but I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. It's basically a terrible way to die. Wanted you to notice. Oh, okay. It didn't look like that when I was taking a look. But, alright, whatever. When you're getting buried by view botters? If this is what a view botter is, then, well... One thing's for sure, it doesn't really change much outside of the fact that I can't read anything. Because the chat goes so quickly. Fuel air explosives. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But I wanted to look up the definition before the last dev server, but I never got to it. To my knowledge, it shouldn't be that effective against tanks, but I could be wrong. Alright, look, it looks like they finally fixed the missile from last dev server. The last dev server, like the aiming point was, like, down here, but the crosshair was up here, and you couldn't, like, lower the missile. Looks like you can now. That's definitely an improvement. There was a lot of stuff broken in the last dev server, though. Alright, cool. Oh, okay. So if you don't switch to the right missile before you fire it, then it's going to load the missile you just fired rather than the new one you requested. I'll save him for the thermobaric. Yeah, we took a look at the Japanese AH-1S. It's a premium. Wow. That's rather impressive, I suppose. Wow. So you can fly and do it all the time? It's a control that you set up. I believe it's under common? It's like show mouse cursor or something like that. Yeah, show mouse cursor. I have it set to alt currently, so I can do this. Just a control. Getting a helicopter line or just one helicopter? They're just getting one helicopter from what I can see on the dev server. And it's only a premium. So they get a premium AH-1S helicopter. And that's it. Are the ESS, they have a new animation for it? Alright. $33 starting with T-72. Huh. Oh yeah, look at that. So it looks like behind the vehicle, Behind the vehicle, they still have the same animation, but they have just added an ESS animation for where the smoke comes out. This doesn't actually do anything for this animation, which is old, but it makes it a little bit more believable rather than smoke just randomly appearing behind the vehicle. And it's also much easier to see when it stops as well. And you have to come to a stop before the missile will pop out. That's interesting. Oh. Somebody said that they changed the T95E1 gear ratios, so we'll check that real quick. As far as the neutral steering goes, it feels a little bit more responsive. It doesn't feel quite as sluggish, which is nice. I really wish they would add more variants to the T95E1, at least the ones that were built. I just like the look of this vehicle, and I like how it plays too. But that was disappointing. Keep in mind, this thing is fully upgraded, but it is responding a lot faster than it used to. I'm pretty sure you could neutral steer. Could you not? Maybe that's what I'm noticing. It's been a while since I played my T95E1, so I could be totally mistaken. Leo 2's got better neutral steering? Alright, we'll check that. We'll start with the 2A4 and then we'll do the 2A5. See how awful the gun is. I can definitely say it feels more responsive. Like, it feels like it starts a lot faster than it used to. Maybe that's just a wrong... Maybe that's just a misconception or a misperception. Fix the tracks of the Leopard 2? I mean, I don't know what there was to fix about them, so I can't say. Oh yeah, that's only something I need to show off, the new Tunguska missiles. So... the missiles did get changed pretty substantially here. So instead of... they should... first of all, they went up in speed. So now they're like not the 910 meters per second, now they're 1200. And on top of that, they should have gotten a much bigger warhead. According to the stat card, it's not there, but according to the changes between the last dev server and this dev server, it should have like a 13 kilogram warhead now. And it should have a an arming distance that's much smaller. Yeah, trigger radius is only 5 meters rather than 20 meters that it used to be. So it's more difficult for this missile to hit the target, and you're probably also going to get a lot less instances of the missile detonating and not doing any damage. And I'm pretty sure that's not how radar works, Guy Jiggles. Just saying. Ah, Russian space technology. Is of good, da? Da, Russian space technology. Yeah, you're gonna need to get the missile a lot closer in order for the warhead to detonate now. Bliet. New Russian radar, very secret, yeah. Yeah, I've gone through all the new vehicles that I know of. If you're like, oh, did he get through X or Y thing? You could scroll back in the stream on YouTube, and you can look at the other stuff. It's just not going to be live, so. Let's see here. I don't think the Stormer changed at all. To my knowledge. New Yak 3 and RE 2000. Alright. Nope. Yak 3U. Oh, that's interesting. That's weird, man. So this looks like a Yakovlev with a radial engine. Yep. Rather than an inline. Alright. 5.7 battle rating. Oh, that's something else I need to look at. The A2D Skyshark got nerfed big time.
And there was much rejoicing.
It went from like 8,000 kilograms of thrust or something like that down to like 200 and something. So it should be a lot more reasonable now. Because the performance it had last dev server was not was not correct. Considering the thing was out accelerating most jet fighters, it probably shouldn't have been doing that. It had a ludicrous amount of forward thrust. Wait, the A2D has a radar now? Oh god. Alright, we'll check that whenever we get to it. I'm gonna show this thing off first. Flamingo? No. Not to my knowledge. There are no new premiums. I think it's accelerating rather quickly for what it is. Am I the only one noticing how quickly this thing is accelerating? Guys, is it supposed to do this? Guys? And gals, if there are a couple of you. Oh yeah, there is the Japanese AH-1S. Good point, Super Family. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. I'm not sure if a prop plane is supposed to be accelerating this quickly. Maybe it's just me. But this feels a little excessive. I can't remember. Are these 23s or 20s? I think they're 20s? This thing performs really well. I'm not sure if this is just a placeholder flight model or what, but dear God. Yeah, this thing barely lost any speed in the turn. What the hell? What is the rip speed? I don't know. It's just accelerate from the ground with Russian anti-gravity technology. I will say this, at a 40-degree climb, it's climbing rather well. Stuff like ground cluttering and so on? No, I have not checked radar at all. So we'll get to that. Oh, did they get rid of the 2,500-pound bombs? I'm sad. That makes me very sad. Alright. Hopefully this thing will rip before it reaches the ground. Actually, no, this is way too low. I'm gonna need to get up to like 5K. We'll just zoom climb. Fuel load, yikes. Well, I am running minimum fuel. Keep that in mind.
More maymays for the Maymay
Is this a
God.
wobble in flight? Not to my knowledge, from what I've been able to
Reported you
see.
for being awesome.
Hey, Vladimir Wooten! Thanks for the 3 months, man. It's been a while. $22.50 is not 500s all. Hopefully I rip. So it looks like the speed limit before you start ripping stuff is 720 kilometers per hour. So interesting aircraft. Some people wanted to see the engine power. Does that sound about right? Wow, that's a lot of horsepower. Damn. I was with the voice cracks today. Yeah, that's what happens when you wake up like 5 minutes before you start streaming. That's not an unreasonable amount. That's pretty insane, though. I mean, for takeoff power especially. Oh my god. How are the 20s? I mean, they're Russian 20s, so take that for what you will. From what I understand, the 20mm cannons on the Russian aircraft are not the greatest things in the world, but they're definitely better than machine guns. So yeah, this thing is rather good. I did miss one other aircraft. RE2000 apparently. Oh, here it is. The RE2002 early model. So for those of you guys who are really into like low tier prop fighters, especially Italy, this is in the game for you now. It can carry... Oh, interesting. It can carry a 250 kilogram bomb and a couple of 100s. Huh. Pretty interesting. Five FN got the radar. Alright, we'll take a look at that. Mainly because I am actually interested in seeing that. Oh, here it is. And no, I don't have
More
the
maymays for the
F665
Maymay
FN.
God.
Hey, old Doc. Thanks for the prime sub, man. Appreciate it. A lot of these aircraft in the American tech tree were added after I stopped playing aircraft in general. So, there's a reason why there's a lot of aircraft that are just... that I don't have in the middle of the tech tree. Sorry, guys. I wish there was a button here that I could just press to... Would you fuck off? Would you kindly go away? I really wish there was a button here to purchase all the modifications so you guys don't have to watch this. Alright. Test flight. Hey, so it does have a radar now. I think it reset all my radar controls, though. Oh. It has a tracking radar, too? What? Hold on. I have to remember how I turned my radar on and off. Oh, it's like Shift X and stuff. Alright. Whoa! Whoa, boys! Holy crap. Yeah, and it can lock targets. That's interesting. Holy shit, you can bump... Okay. So this is the 1 kilometer setting. Then you have 9 kilometers, and then it jumps into 46 kilometers, and then 120. Holy fucking shit! And that green, I think... Is that ground clutter? I'm not sure what that is. Let's fly towards the island here, and we'll see if that's ground clutter or not. Talk about having a fast scan range. Holy shit. I'm not sure if that's intended. But damn. Nifako, I've already gone through the Germans. The only thing they added was the Flakraketen Panzer 1, which was the which is a Roland armed mortar. So VHF radars in game. I don't recall. They might. Since they added ground clutter, I'm not sure if I'm totally understanding it. Okay, so yeah, this green area definitely looks like ground clutter that the radar is picking up. That's a rather interesting detail. Pretty cool too. I'm not sure if I still totally understand it yet. Somebody else will have to explain it to me. Probably Iron. You'll probably go on like a 15-minute, or a 15 to 30-minute explanation as to why ground clutter is a thing. But that's okay. It hurts me when I hear a wasp in my room. To be fair, that would be me too. Replay Boy, I'm not actually a partner. I'm an affiliate. And frankly, I don't care. So yeah, you can see the FJ4B is now there for you to look at. A2D apparently got a radar. We'll have to take a look at the F86K, because the F86K is supposed to have a radar as well. Yeah, so it did get a radar. And it got a tracking radar? Nice.
More maymays for the maymay
Oh my
god.
God, it's pretty much the same thing.
Keckles, mine shekels.
Simulation Nerd, thanks for the 3 months, man. Alright, let's check this thing's, performance. You mean yeah. So it's definitely not as ridiculous as it was on the last dev server. But it's still good. Like, I wouldn't say that this aircraft is not worth buying. If you have the cash to throw at it. Notice the premium UH-1C. Alright, we'll get to it. There's a bunch of stuff I need to get to. Oh, that's cool how it changes the radar to reflect when you're scanning or something. Look at that. So it looks like the radar scan range is only 1 kilometer. I don't think I'm ever going to catch that MiG-15. It's not like the last dev server. So, yes, this thing is fast. I mean, I'm doing 800 kilometers an hour right now. Or no, not 800. I'm sorry, I was reading the altitude, not the speed. I'm doing 500 kilometers an hour. See how fast it can go at sea level. And then, by the way, this thing does not have web. Why don't I have my flaps down? Yes, are up for I want to finish seeing my movie. Oh, it'll be up for like another 16 hours, from what I understand. Oh, no. No, 11 hours, I'm sorry. When I read 7 GMT, I read it as 7 PST. Hey, so you do get a lead indicator with this thing. The difference is that it's only at 1 kilometer.
More maymays for the maymay god.
So... you can watch like 2 or 3 movies and you'll still have time. Tomato is foot. Or, no, tomato is fruit. I'm sorry. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. That's kind of cool how this thing got a radar. I didn't know that it had one. Alright, UH-1C apparently got new loadouts. M129 40mm automatic grenade launchers. Oh, it got a 76mm Mighty Mouse thing. Or not 70. What the hell am I saying? It got 76 Mighty Mouse rockets. Let's throw this in a real quick. So yeah, now you can carry more Mighty Mouse rockets in case there wasn't enough rocket spam. 40mm grenade. Oh, it got a 40mm grenade launcher on the nose. That's new. Does it fire HEDP? Oh, cool. So it fires the high explosive anti-tank grenades as well. Yes, the C1 has a new round. And it's the most powerful round in the game. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so this variant, or this, not variant. This loadout has a couple of M134 miniguns, a 40mm grenade launcher, and the two FFAR rockets. Question is, does it have the 40mm grenade launcher for all variants? It does. It does have all the rockets. Or it does have the 40mm grenade launcher on all of the variants. Okay, so when I fire the 30mm turrets, it's also firing the 40mm grenade launcher. Yeah, Simulation Nerd, I already covered that earlier. Also, guys, it would do me a huge favor if people are asking questions and I've already covered something and you know the answer to them, answer for them in the chat. That would help me a lot. The M1A1 did not get anything changed on it outside of the cannon breach not having... the cannon breach is not as large anymore. That's the only thing that's changed on the M1A1. Helicopters going to be relevant after this patch? I mean, they haven't been that relevant for well over a patch now. No, I don't think they will. I mean, they'll be better, slightly, but... there's also a lot more missile AA flying around these days. Leopard 2A5 get nerfed? Not to my knowledge. As far as I know, nothing has changed. I mean, the second dev added some new stuff as well, but... here, look. Nothing has changed about the M1A1. The only two things that have changed is that the cannon breach is not the size of the moon, and the ammunition loadout refills itself in a different way now. When you start loading ammunition into the tank, it starts on the left-hand side of the turret. or the left-hand side of the loader's bin area, as it should. So, that's the only change that there has been made to the M1A1. Nothing else. Mobility buff with the 2A5. You say that, but honestly, I haven't noticed anything different. I mean, at least from the 2A4. Oh yeah, that's right, the Excelsior got its armor changed. Yeah, honestly, I'm not feeling anything different about the 2A5. It's been a couple weeks since I played my 2A5 last, but steering doesn't feel any different. Well, yeah, most patches are a bit all over the place. Aiden Walsh, yes, I have looked at the 295E1. So if you want to go back and look at it, you can scroll back through the stream and take a look. I did it a few minutes ago. JU288 isn't new. It's been in the game for like several patches now. Chip reloads are there new? Sure. We'll throw in the 8-inch guns. We're into big guns. It's gonna take me a minute here because I'm gonna get this thing upgraded first. Oh, that's right. The Seahawk should have gotten its rockets now. We'll take a look at that. I checked it out on the last dev server, Tomato. I don't know if I'll check it out this dev server. Yeah, there is a new reload sound, but it's rather faint. Let me turn it up. Yeah, so there is a new reload sound, but it's not the loudest thing in the world. This thing's out. Sorry for all the questions. For most people, you will need to grind everything out. Granted, there is like a 5x bonus to RP and Silver Lions and so on, so it shouldn't take you that many games to do so. And most of the games are just filled with bots anyways. However, keep this in mind as well. I mean, for me, because I'm a content creator and I'm a part of the Gaijin Partnership Program, I do get access to all the new vehicles and so on, so I can show them to you guys. There's also a 50% discount for all of the vehicles in the game. Like RP and Server Alliance, so they cost a lot less. So you're earning 5 times more, and vehicles cost half as much. So you can get them quickly. At least that's the idea. TNT equivalency? Yeah, we can take a look at that. Or the ADATs? I can show you, but I can't test it. Or at least I could probably test drive it, but that's about it. Oh my god. It's an 18.48 kilogram warhead. Holy shit. That's rather powerful. Oh god. Oh god. 3.5 times the HE mass of the Soviet 125mm HE round. Yeah, let's test this meme. I'd like to show it off when it's upgraded, but I can't because I can't boost research it for some strange reason. Oh, did Flea jump in? What's up, Flea? How you doing? I hope everything's gone smoothly as far as the move is concerned. I know that you're back in action. Sucks that you lost your video card, though. I didn't even pen the tank. Look at the splash damage. Okay, let's do that again. Hold on. I didn't even pen the tank. And this thing is 18 point something kilograms of HE, so it just splashed the tank and blew him apart. It didn't even pen him. That's insane. Okay, that one actually penned. And that one penned too, but the splash damage still set off the ammunition. 4 hours of binary asteroid system passing our orbit. Cool, Dexter. Hey, alright, cool. So, if this thing wasn't scary enough... If this thing wasn't scary enough, it's now gotten about 3.5 times more scary. Alright. This is the definition of a vehicle that will get an automagic treatment. Spawn cost increased by 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I'm gonna be very surprised if this thing just has a normal AA spawn. Which, knowing Gaijin, it will probably be the case. I don't know if the missiles are broken. They work just fine. Unless you're referring to balance-wise, then yes, balance-wise, that these missiles are broken. Like, they are better than These are quite possibly the best missiles in the game. Because you don't even have to pen the target in order to one-shot him. All you need to do is just smack him on the turret face right above the ammunition and he's dead. And as if that wasn't enough, like, they've got 900 millimeters of pen, so they'll pen it in pretty much anything that has relatively medium to okay armor. If they don't pen anything, they have the splash damage of effectively like a KV-2, or well, they have splash damage equivalent to 3.5 times the Russian 125 millimeter HE shells. And if you need to shoot an aircraft, you could do that too, because it's got a 6 meter airburst fuse on it. So yeah, this thing is literally a do everything missile. Like, there is no downsides to this missile. It's also got 1,200 meters per second maximum velocity. This thing flies faster than most tank shells do when it's gotten up to speed. So, or will it kill a 2A5? I don't know. I'll have to test that in a custom battle later. Assuming the custom battles... Oh, wait, shit, I can't. Because I can't boost research this thing. We'll have to see on the live server or something like that, or if they find a way to fix this without shutting down the server again. Just trying to think to myself. So the dev server mine works fine. All right, I'll try the client one more time. I did it earlier and it didn't change anything, but we'll try it one more time. Oh my god. Easily still. Yeah. In before the SPAA for the Americans turns out to be the thing that saves their meta. Like, in before the ADATS just replaces the M1 Abrams as the preferred method of killing everything. Just checking game updates. Please wait. Fantastic. Let's go to the pre-stream for now. Holy crap, game. Shouldn't be taking this long to check for game updates. Oh, there we go. Switch back over here. Actually. Keep myself from getting doxxed. Okay, that's F you, F your family, and F your postcode, pretty much. Alright, let's try it now. Nope, still doesn't work. Looks like I don't have access to the ADAS this dev server. Alright, whatever. That's okay. Not a big deal. Somebody said that the FJ4B's cannons have changed, so we'll quickly jump in and see if that has done anything. Yeah, it's now known as Chadley. And from what I can see, the cannons haven't changed at all. Eh. Resist! Boxer Sky Ranger. Hey, all I want for Germany is the Weasel. Especially the Angry Weasel variant, which has Milan, which has the 30mm on the Milan missiles in like that box turret. All right, let's see. Oh, what am I doing here? So we'll go back and we'll take a look at the Ariete again, I think. I don't think I test drove it, so... Oh, did it just, like, remove all my modifications? Or did I not buy them? I don't think I ever did buy them, did I? I am so out of it. I mean, they've just released the teaser trailer. So the update could go live as early as Monday, although what I'm guessing is that they're going to give themselves a couple of days to fix some of the bugs with this update. And they'll probably release it on Tuesday or Thursday. That would be my guess. Because there are some fairly substantial bugs with this dev server. Alright. So yeah, if you're somebody who's been playing Top Tier Italy, Top Tier Italy just got a lot more scary. Well, they could have done it a lot with the M1s this update, but apparently Gaijin feels that the M1s are just fine the way they are. Stares an M1A1's 40% win rate. I mean, when I was playing the C1 Ariete pre-series, this last update, when it came out, I was having a lot of fun with it. That was mostly because, though, you were with the Leopard 2A5 spam and not against it most of the time. But the Ariete with its upgraded ammunition is going to be rather scary, to say the very least. Let's see. I like how it's still penetrating the upper front plate even at this angle. Yeah, that went through the upper front plate at an angle and killed the gunner. At 600 meters, easily. I mean, considering it's slicing through the upper front plate of a T-80U, that's not too surprising. At least in the protection analysis. If I recall correctly, this ammo was rather expensive, though. Like 1,300 credits, I think? Maybe I'm wrong. Radio fuse intercept ATGMs now? From what I understand, it can. Like, the proxy fuses can now detect missiles now. However, I haven't had a chance to test it. Oh my god, it's only 610? Are you serious? If there was a piece of ammunition that warranted a higher price point, it's definitely this one. Oh well, it's the dev server. Anything is possible. Anything changed to it? Not to my knowledge. The AMX30 Super looks pretty much the same. Let's see here. What else? I'm just double checking my Discord, seeing if I missed anything. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me, Geju. Guju for the F-86K. The F-86K's radar, I totally forgot about that. There is so much to see. And so many little changes that are being made with this patch. For some reason. Yeah, I don't understand that either, but... the best we could do is bug report it and hope that it gets fixed. Throw in a couple of sidewinders, air targets. Reload torps? I don't think so. We can check though. Yeah, the F-56K finally does have its radar. And it looks like it does have a tracking radar. I'll pull the gear up. And it does have an afterburner as well. Ah, I'm curious as to why it's not picking up this MiG. Am I just missing something? Is the radar pointed in a strange direction? Oh god. Oops. Because the radar isn't picking up this MiG at all. Maybe it's inside the minimum range, or maybe it's the ground clutter. You know what? It might be the ground clutter. Hold on. Let's put it against a backdrop. No, it's not. It's still not picking them up. Huh. Yeah, they've modeled some kind of ground deflection or whatever. I'm not sure what... Have a prop fighter have a better radar than a Cold War era jet fighter? It very well may be a bug that it's just not picking it up. It may just be the way that the radar is set up. I mean, granted, it's also worth noting that when I was flying the F6F FN, I was not flying over the ground, I was flying over water. And water could react differently to radar. Could. I'm not saying it will, but that is a factor that might need to be taken into account. Yeah, I tried flying below the Meg Iron, and it didn't change anything. I'll do it again, but... Like, I flew under the... I flew down towards the ground and pulled up to point the radar to try and, skyline the MiG against the sky itself, and it didn't pick it up. I mean, I'm on the ground right now, and it's not picking him up. So it may very well be that this radar is just bugged and they haven't fixed it. Yes, Foxtrot, I already have. How long will the dev server be open? It will be open for another 10 hours. 10 hours and 15 minutes from this point. It's usually only open for... Okay, now it's picking him up. And now I can't lock him. Oh, that's so weird. So it looks like the ground clutter is really fucking with this radar. Like, it is not picking this guy up at all. Not at this altitude. I had to basically completely skyline myself. Or I had to completely skyline this guy in order for the radar to be able to pick him up. And even now it's not. Blind spot on the radar? It very well might be. And he very well could be just too close for the radar to pick him up. The downside is that if he's this close and the radar isn't picking him up, how the hell are you possibly going to get a lock with the targeting radar? That's my question. Michael, it doesn't go any lower than 20 kilometers. The lowest it goes is 20 kilometers on the F-86K. I tried. Okay. This update of the dev, there's a lot, Villasy. It would take me several minutes to list off all the changes. You're probably better off trying to find a new patch, like a series of patch notes, like preliminary patch notes, than having me explain it to you. Is the battle soon? Yes, I think what I'll do first before I do custom battles is I'm going to call this part of the stream here. I'm going to go make myself something to eat. And then I will be coming back later to do custom battles for the dev server. So I'll be back in about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the very maximum. Maybe even less than that. It just depends on how long it takes me to make food. And then we'll do custom battles. So if you guys are interested in going back and looking at all the new stuff, or most of the new stuff, and if you watch on YouTube, you should be able to see all of the new vehicles by just scrolling back and watching back through the stream. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it here for now, and I will be back in a bit. So, have a good one, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening.